Hey guys, good morning from the desert in southern Arizona. Out here at my buddy's place, doing a little boondocking or driveway surfing, whatever you want to call it. Um, right now, as you can see, Clifford is up on blocks. So I'm pretty tied up with some transmission stuff, which I'll explain a little bit here. But don't have a lot of time to do editing because I need to work on Clifford. And it's been too long since we put out a video. So I wanted to get something out, get a little update now, and then we want to do um, like a live or maybe just shoot a quick sit down video um, and just kind of catch everybody up on what's been happening over the summer and over this fall. So if you have questions that you want to ask, that you want answered on that video, feel free to go to like our Facebook page, Camper Size Living, and I'll put a post in there where you can comment and say, what questions you'd like answered on that video, and we'll try and get to as many of those as we can. You can put them in the comments here as well, but that'll be coming. Hopefully pretty quick here. So let me get into this. This video will not be edited. I'm just going to shoot it and upload it. So it might be a little rough, but let me kind of show you what's going on here. Okay, so we got Clifford up on blocks. The transmission is out right now. It's right here. I just put in a new pump and we got a new upgraded torque converter. We've got a billeted triple disc low stall torque converter that's going to be an awesome upgrade for Clifford for towing. Okay, that's the main focus that we set Clifford up for. What we ran into though was just one day all of a sudden Clifford wouldn't go into gear unless you took the RPMs up real gentle to about 12 to 1500, and then it would kind of ease into gear, and then after that it was really strong and everything was fine. As far as I could tell, I didn't want to drive it too far, so I just went back and forth here in the drive. But I got underneath there last week and I took the pan down, drained the fluid. It was dirty. We had some kind of normal stuff around the magnet, but no chunks or anything crazy like that. And so I took the whole valve body off, every bit of it. I took the solenoid packs off and went through all of that. Cleaned it all up. Everything seems to be operating good now. Some of those valves were stuck just from being gummed up. So I got them clean. Now everything's moving really smoothly. But when I went to start the truck back up and I hooked a clear hose to the line going back from the cooler, we weren't getting any flow. Pressure gauge was showing no pressure. And so the next step was to go to the pump and to the torque converter. So that's where we're at now. We've got that torque converter waiting to go in. I'm waiting on a filter for the transmission. I'm gonna put a new Motorcraft filter in there. But we've got the new pump in there. So from the valve body to the pump to the torque converter, everything should be in pretty good shape. The only thing left would be the actual clutches and gears and stuff, which we weren't experiencing any problem with. We do have plans to rebuild and beef all that up for towing, so that we can go confidently into the mountains this spring. But right now we're not going to mess with that. Hopefully this solves our problem, gets us back and forth to the grocery store, up to Quartzsite and all that kind of thing. So that's kind of where we're at with the truck. While we're in here, when we got to El Paso, we actually broke a spring on the camper. Broke it clean in half. Let me see if I can show you that real quick. So this is the spring that came off, minus this piece here on that side, but it just broke clean in half. So we were able to find a new spring, exactly what we needed at Northern Tool right there in El Paso. So I got in there and was able to change that out right at an RV park. We were down a day, and then we were back on the road and made it back to Arizona. That was coming across from South Carolina to Arizona, which we do every year. But when we stopped in El Paso, I noticed that there was oil leaking pretty good while I was idling from under the motor. So, your first thoughts is, oh shoot, what the heck is going on here? But what it turned out to be is a very common problem with these 7.3s. There's a gasket that goes around where the dipstick goes into the oil pan. And that leaks. It's an O-ring. So normally what I was first looking at is you gotta sit there and you gotta take the whole motor out, drop the transmission, all of that to get that oil pan off, to get in there and fix it. But I found a kit from Diesel O-Rings, and in the kit it has a new nut for the outside so you can replace that, a gasket here, and it has the new O-ring. What it also, and it has some like sealant Permatex here. But here's the key to the whole thing though with this kit. This you push into the tube for where the dipstick goes into, and that holds that piece in there so that it doesn't fall into the pan. And then you can slide all of this over top of that, put it in there from the outside, use this to pull it back, and then put the nut on there, and that allows you to fix it from the outside. What I did while we were there, just because we wanted to get back on the road, was I just tightened that nut a little bit more, not too tight, but a little bit more to keep it from leaking too bad, and just made sure I kept oil in there. But now that we have the transmission out and the starter out, which is huge to do that repair, I've got lots of room in there. So I had that kit already sitting here waiting to go, waiting for a good time to do it. Now's a great time to do it. So while I'm waiting for the new filter to come in today, I'm going to go ahead and put that kit on there, fix that oil leak while I'm under there. So hopefully with that oil leak will be fixed, and then hopefully with the new pump and the upgraded torque converter that we're putting in here, our pressure problem should be fixed on the transmission. We'll find out either today or tomorrow probably if that's going to work. So I'm going to go ahead and blow out all the cooler lines and make sure that the pathway is clear there. There's not a blockage there. And then I also got this magnifying filter here. And what this filter is, it's an inline transmission filter. And it says it will not reduce the flow at all, but it has a magnet in it. So it has a magnet in it to catch like your ferrous metals, your steel, and any kind of thing like that, the little shavings that you get in there, kind of powdery stuff really. And then it also has a fine filter to pick up all the clutch material and non-ferrous metals, brass, that kind of thing coming through. So hopefully if I put this after the coolers, all that new stuff I'm putting in here will pump the fluid to the filters out. Anything that's left from being able to flush it out will get caught by this, so we'll have good fluid coming in back into the transmission, new filter in the transmission. So hopefully that'll help keep the new torque converter, new pump, the cleaned up valve bodies, all of that in good shape. And then if we need to rebuild that back end, everything I'm seeing now, I may go ahead and attempt to do that myself, get the kit. It's a lot of parts, but it saves a lot of money. So anyway, that's kind of what's happening with Clifford. But we are in great shape out here though. We've got a car right here to go run around doing Christmas stuff. If you saw on Facebook the other day, we went out and saw Christmas lights and stuff in Tucson. That was awesome. It was even kind of chilly out to where your nose felt a little cold in your fingers, and it really felt like Christmas with some amazing lights in this neighborhood that everybody goes to. But we're getting ready for Christmas here in a couple days. What? Yeah, like less than a week. What is it, Thursday today? Christmas is on Sunday. So we're ready for Christmas. And we're going to spend Christmas with our son and his new wife here in Tucson. We just had that wedding. We'll cover more of that stuff in the update video, but yeah, some issues with Clifford and transmission, but we're in a good spot for it. It's not like we're out on the road stuck somewhere, so it's as good as it could be expected. So if you're praying, people, we appreciate your prayers, and you know, putting it in God's hands here and doing all that we can do to get it back right. And we'll let you know how it turns out. But that's kind of where we're at right now. Again, if you've got any questions, specific things that you want us to address on what's happened over the summer and the fall, I know we haven't had any new videos come out from that time frame yet. Feel free to put those in either the comments here or go to Camper Size Living Facebook, and we will try and get to those, as many of those as we can. So Anyway, let me get back to work here. It's not going to do itself. We're going to have a great day. We hope that you have a great day, and we'll catch up with you guys next time with an update. Bye, y'all.